The neon lights of the cosmic bar flickered softly, painting the walls in shades of blue and purple. The air was filled with strange music, some kind of alien melody mixed with earth beats. Creatures of all shapes and sizes were laughing, drinking, and chatting. Some had glowing skin, others had extra arms, and a few looked almost human. In the middle of this chaos, an alien girl sat quietly at a corner table, staring at a drink she barely understood. Her skin shimmered faintly green, and her large eyes glowed like tiny moons. Her hair floated slightly as if it had a life of its own. She was new to Earth, curious, and excited to try human experiences. Tonight, she wanted to taste the infamous Earth drink called Moonfire. She had heard it was sweet but powerful. She did not know that humans could get drunk fast, and aliens sometimes even faster. The waiter, a tall human with a friendly smile, approached her table. "Here's your Moonfire," he said, placing a glowing blue drink in front of her. The girl leaned forward and sniffed it. The smell was strange but oddly sweet. Without hesitation, she drank it in one gulp. Almost instantly, her large eyes widened. A warmth spread through her body, her limbs felt light, and a strange giggle escaped her lips. The crowd nearby noticed her laughing alone. Some whispered to each other, pointing at her glowing skin. The alien girl tried to calm herself, but the drink was stronger than she expected. She grabbed the napkin to wipe her mouth, but her hands trembled. In a sudden flail of motion, she accidentally grabbed the waiter's shirt while standing up to leave. The fabric tore with a loud rip. The waiter jumped back, eyes wide. The crowd gasped. The girl froze, her glowing eyes staring at the ripped shirt. "Oh. I didn't mean." "I'm sorry," she squeaked in a voice that sounded like bells ringing. Laughter erupted around her, some people pointing, some cheering. A few looked worried, stepping back as if afraid of her alien strength. The waiter's face turned red, but before he could say anything, the girl's attention shifted to the other side of the bar. A shadow moved, a tall figure watching her carefully. The mysterious figure wore a dark coat that shimmered under the neon lights. His face was partially hidden, but his eyes reflected a strange intelligence. The girl felt a shiver run down her spine. She didn't know who he was, but somehow she felt he was important and dangerous. Trying to recover, she stepped back from the crowd. Her glowing eyes flickered nervously. She mumbled an apology again, but her voice sounded small against the loud laughter and chatter. The waiter, still holding the torn shirt, seemed unsure what to do next. "It's okay, I guess," he said nervously, but his eyes kept darting toward the shadowy figure. The alien girl wanted to leave quickly, but her alien instincts made her pause. Something in the stranger's gaze felt like a warning. She had never been in trouble like this before, not on Earth. Her heart raced, and her hands shook. She realized she had no idea what might happen next. The crowd slowly returned to their drinks, but whispers continued. "Did you see her strength?" one alien asked another. "She could tear a shirt with one hand," someone replied. The girl wished she could disappear. She didn't mean to cause trouble. She just wanted to enjoy a drink. Then, the stranger took a step forward. The girl's glowing eyes widened. Every step he took seemed careful, deliberate, and full of authority. The music seemed to fade in her ears. Every nerve in her body was alert. She didn't run, but she wanted to. Her mind raced with questions. Who was he? Why was he watching her? Was the ripped shirt a problem? The waiter, still holding the torn shirt, whispered, "I think, that's someone you don't want to ignore." The girl looked up, and the stranger's gaze met hers. It was sharp, almost piercing. The light seemed to bend around him, making him look even taller and stronger than he was. She had the sudden feeling that her little mistake, the drink, the rip, the laughter, might lead to something much bigger. Her pulse quickened. She wanted to move, to escape the curious eyes, but her legs felt heavy. The stranger did not move yet, only watched, and in that moment, the alien girl realized that she was no longer just a visitor in a human bar. Something important had begun, something she could not yet understand. And then, with a subtle nod of his head, the stranger turned and melted into the crowd, leaving her staring after him. The bar slowly returned to normal, but the girl knew that everything had changed. The laughter, the lights, and even the drink no longer mattered. She had caught the attention of someone who could change her life forever. Her glowing hands clenched at her sides. She whispered to herself, "I need to be careful. I can't let anyone see my real strength, not yet." Little did she know, the ripped shirt was only the beginning. Someone was watching her. Someone was waiting. And the next step she took could bring danger, or adventure. The lights of the cosmic bar pulsed like a heartbeat, but the alien girl did not notice. She had moved to the edge of the crowd, trying to calm her trembling hands. The drink still burned warmly in her stomach, and her mind raced faster than she could follow. Then, something unusual happened. A small device on the floor near her table beeped softly. She looked down and saw the torn shirt, no longer just fabric, but a faint glow seeping from hidden circuits. The shirt wasn't ordinary. Someone had implanted tiny tech inside it. Her stomach dropped. That was no normal bar accident, it was serious. Suddenly, the bar's doors whooshed open. A gust of cool air carried a whisper of distant stars. Every patron turned, but she froze. The stranger from before stepped inside again. This time, his presence made the room feel smaller, like gravity had shifted. He did not walk, but almost glided across the floor, eyes scanning the room. She could feel the tension around her. The stranger's gaze landed on the glowing circuits in the torn shirt. His expression did not soften. Instead, it sharpened, like a blade reflecting starlight. He pointed toward her with a single finger, but made no sound. She understood she had to follow him. Outside, the city was a jungle of neon towers and hovering vehicles. The girl ran, though she tried to look casual, her mind racing for an explanation, an escape, anything. But the stranger was faster. He matched her step for step, always just a few feet behind. "Wait," she finally whispered, but the words vanished into the hum of the city. He stopped suddenly and turned. "You have no idea what you are carrying," he said, voice calm but dangerous. "That shirt is not a toy." Her glowing eyes widened. I didn't mean. I just drank a drink. I ripped the shirt, it was an accident." "Accident?" His voice cut through the air like a laser. "Some accidents are dangerous. This one could start a war." Her mind froze. War? Over a shirt? That seemed impossible, yet the circuits inside the torn fabric pulsed like tiny warning lights. She realized she had stumbled into something far bigger than herself. Someone, somewhere, wanted that shirt. Someone powerful. A sound behind them made her turn sharply. Security drones, small, spherical, and armed, hovered toward them. Their red sensors locked onto her. The stranger grabbed her arm gently, but firmly. "We don't have time. Trust me, or you won't survive." Before she could speak, he lifted her slightly with a flick of his hand, almost carrying her over the drone's paths. The alien girl gasped. Her strength was impressive, but his speed, his calm, it was almost inhuman. They ran through the neon streets, darting through alleys full of strange vendors selling starfish-shaped snacks and glowing fabrics. The drones were persistent, weaving between floating cars and pedestrians. She had to admit she had never felt fear like this before. Not just fear of being caught, but fear of what she did not understand. "Why me?" she asked, panting. "Why chase me over a shirt?" The stranger looked at her, his glowing eyes faintly reflecting the city lights. "It is not just a shirt. It is a key. A key to technology that should not exist in anyone's hands. And now, you have it." She felt a tingle down her spine. She had accidentally become the center of something dangerous, something that could affect entire worlds. And the thought of returning to the bar, or to any ordinary life, vanished instantly. Suddenly, one of the drones fired a sticky net toward them. She instinctively grabbed it, but the net was reinforced with alien polymers she had never seen. The stranger smiled slightly. "Your strength is remarkable. But raw power alone won't save you." With a twist of his hand, a small gadget beeped, and the net dissolved in sparkling particles. The girl blinked in awe. This man, this stranger, was more than he seemed. She wanted to ask questions, to understand, but now was not the time. Another obstacle appeared, a group of shadowy figures blocking the street ahead. Their faces were hidden under helmets, but she could feel their intent, hostile, ready to capture her. She tensed. Her glowing eyes flared instinctively. She had power, yes, but she had never fought anyone this skilled before. The stranger grabbed her wrist again. You have two choices. Fight and risk everything, or trust me. Follow. Her mind flashed back to the bar, to the laughter, to the ripped shirt. It all seemed trivial now. She had stepped into a bigger game, one she did not choose. But something in her, something brave and defiant, whispered that she could survive. She nodded. I'll trust you, for now. He gave a faint nod and led her through a hidden tunnel behind a holographic wall. The city outside disappeared. Inside, the tunnel glowed faintly, lined with symbols she did not recognize. It smelled faintly metallic, like a starship engine. The stranger did not speak, but she felt his eyes on her. Calculating, judging, waiting. And in that quiet moment, the alien girl realized, the incident at the bar, the drink, the ripped shirt, was only the beginning. What came next could change everything she thought she knew about herself, and about the universe. The sky above the city was not dark. Instead, it shimmered with swirling auroras of green, purple, and gold, as if the stars themselves had come down to watch. The alien girl's glowing eyes reflected the colors, her heart pounding with adrenaline. Behind her, the stranger moved silently, a shadow among shadows, guiding her through the neon-lit streets and hidden alleys. The city felt alive, almost sentient, its lights flickering in response to the chase. Somewhere above, the hum of hovering ships blended with the distant thunder of engines. She had learned quickly, this was no ordinary street, no ordinary bar, no ordinary accident. The ripped shirt she once thought was a mistake had become the most dangerous object in the galaxy. Ahead, the shadowy figures from before waited. Their helmets glinted, their weapons ready. The alien girl's muscles tensed instinctively. She could feel the power inside her, raw and untamed, waiting to be unleashed. But the stranger placed a hand gently on her shoulder. Strength alone won't save you. Think. Plan. Outsmart them. She nodded. For the first time, fear transformed into focus. Her mind raced. The enemies expected a straightforward chase, a fight. They didn't expect creativity. She reached into her bag and pulled out a small vial of luminescent liquid, another earth drink she had saved. She hurled it to the ground, and it exploded into a cloud of shimmering mist, confusing the shadowy figures and triggering their sensors. The stranger moved with her through the chaos, cutting off drones and scanners with small gadgets that blinked and hummed. She followed, ducking behind neon signs, vaulting over obstacles, her alien reflexes faster than any human could track. Together, they became a blur, a combination of raw power and precise strategy. Suddenly, the alien girl stopped. A wide street lay before them, empty except for a massive hovercraft waiting at the far end. Her instincts screamed danger, but she also sensed opportunity. The stranger gave her a look that said, "Your choice." With a deep breath, she focused. Her glowing eyes flared brightly, and she surged forward, lifting herself above the ground with a controlled leap. The shadowy figures hesitated, unsure of what they were seeing. She landed on the hovercraft, ripping open the hatch with a single hand. The stranger followed, landing gracefully beside her. Inside, the hovercraft was a small command center, filled with holographic displays and blinking lights. She realized then that the stranger was not just a protector, he was part of a larger organization, one that defended the galaxy from dangerous tech. The ripped shirt in her bag pulsed with light. It had the potential to power weapons or technology that could destroy entire cities. "You brought it this far," the stranger said, voice steady. "Now we make sure it doesn't fall into the wrong hands." She nodded, understanding the weight of her responsibility. Her powers, her courage, and her quick thinking had brought them here. But she also knew that trusting others, humans, aliens, strangers, was part of being a hero. The hovercraft lifted into the night sky. Below, the shadowy figures chased them, but the ship moved faster than they could follow. From above, she could see the vast city, the endless lights, and even glimpses of distant planets beyond the horizon. It was beautiful. Dangerous. Alive. Inside, she turned to the stranger. "What happens now?" she asked, her voice calm but full of wonder. "Now," he said, "we protect it. And maybe, just maybe, you start your real adventure." The alien girl smiled faintly. She had come to Earth seeking a new experience. She found something far greater: responsibility, courage, and the realization that her strength could be a force for good. And as the hovercraft vanished into the auroras above, she realized something more. One small mistake, a ripped shirt, a drink too strong, had unleashed a chain of events that would make her a legend across the stars. Somewhere far away, the shadowy figures regrouped, furious. But the alien girl didn't fear them anymore. She had learned to combine her alien strength with intelligence, courage, and trust. She was not just a visitor in this galaxy, she was a hero. And in that moment, floating above the neon city under a sky of swirling lights, she whispered to herself, "Who knew one ripped shirt could change everything?"